Hello grade 8. Today our lesson is about wind and weather forecast. Let's start talking about wind. The wind in the tropical regions is perpendicular on the sun rays falling on it, and this reach the large water body. And in this effect of increasing of the temperature and increasing of the humidity percentage. While in the polar regions, the cause of the winds is due to inclination of the sun rays falling on it, the presence of most water in a frozen form, and this affect decreasing in the temperature and decreasing of the humidity percentage. Now, in the tropical regions, heating of the air, its expansion and its rising upward, which led to decreasing of its density. Therefore, in this region, this is known as pressure region low, the low atmospheric pressure region. While in the polar region, this led to cooling of the air, and this contraction sinking downward, which led to increasing its density, and this called high atmospheric pressure region. Now, what is the meaning of wind? Wind, it is a horizontal movement of air across the Earth's surface caused by difference in atmospheric pressure between regions due to unequal heating of Earth's surface. And the wind movement and its speed increases when there is a large difference between atmospheric pressure value in adjacent areas. We have something called Coriolis effect. When a person pushes a pole on a smooth stationary disk, it doesn't move, so the pole moves in a straight lines. While in a rotating disk from west to east, the pole appears as it has deflected from its path of the imaginary force, and this is called Coriolis effect. In the same way, the wind seems not to move in straight path, but in curved path. As a result of this, where the wind deflects, we have south and north hemisphere. In the south hemisphere, to the left of its original path in anti-clockwise direction, while in northern hemisphere, the right of its original path in a clockwise direction. Coriolis effect, the wind moves at the equator in a straight path without deflection, and this due to the absence of the Coriolis effect, which allow the wind to move without deflection. The deflection of the wind is at its maximum at the two poles, as you can see in the next picture. Now let's talk about weather maps. Weather maps, they are maps that show the movement of air from one region to another on wind speed and atmospheric pressure system. Points of equal atmospheric pressure at sea level are represented on the weather map, as you can see, and this is known as isobars. Isobars, they are curved lines connecting points of equal atmospheric pressure at sea level. Atmospheric pressure, we have two types, high pressure system and low pressure system, as you can see in the picture. This is the weather map showing the atmospheric pressure and the isobars. Atmospheric pressure system, in the high pressure system, the region where the atmospheric pressure, its center is higher than the surrounding area, while in the low, the atmospheric pressure is lower than the surrounding area. And now let's explain high and low pressure systems. The low pressure system is symbolized by the letter L in the red color, as you can see. The value of the atmospheric pressure of isobars increase as you move away from the center of the low pressure system. In the low pressure regions, from rising air currents rotating toward the center of pressure is an anti-clockwise direction at the regions located in the north hemisphere, while in the high pressure system is symbolized by letter H in the blue color. The value of the atmospheric pressure of isobars decreases as you move away from the center of the high pressure system. In the high pressure regions, from decreasing air currents rotating outward from the center of pressure in a clockwise direction at the north hemisphere. The high pressure system Rising air currents in area of low pressure system leads to their cooling and condensation, formation, clouds and rainfall. This is the low pressure. While in the high pressure system, the descending air currents in area of high pressure leads to their warming and drying. So the weather in these areas is clear and sunny. Weather forecast maps. Weather maps show a network of isobars and pressure areas over wide regions. But the forecast maps show icons from which the weather conditions can be deduced with the expected temperature. But the weather forecast maps are a simplified tool derived from weather maps. Weather forecast maps. The following pictures is called icons and their meanings. We have the rainfall icon, clouds, sunny, hurricanes, thunder and lightning, and the snowfall. Weather forecasts. It is the process of predicting the future weather conditions for a certain location. Weather forecasting is achieved by collecting, recording, and analyzing data, and this is related to temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind speed, storm tracks. And we use various instruments and techniques like Stevenson screen, satellite, radio sound, weather stations, and weather buoys. Let's explain each one of them. We have Stevenson screen. It is a wooden box. Its height is 65 centimeters painted in a white color, and this is to reflect the sunlight. This wooden box is fixed on a stand about 120 centimeters above the ground level, and this to protect the measuring instruments inside it from the heat radiated by the Earth's surface. Also, the Stevenson screen, there are slanted openings in the wooden box, and this to allow air circulation. Stevenson screen placed away from trees and buildings to avoid any obstacles that may affect the measurements of instruments inside it. Weather forecast Stevenson screen also. Inside the Stevenson screen, there are instruments used to measure each of the following: temperature, atmospheric pressure, and humidity. Now let's talk about weather buoys. This is used in oceans. Its function is collecting the data received from the sensor to organize and process it. As you can see, the processed data are sent to satellites, to observation centers and the world. Now let's talk about radio sound. It consists of three parts, which are: number one, a device carrying instruments to measure each of the following: temperature, humidity, atmospheric pressure, and wind speed. Number two, balloon carries the radio sound device upward because it's filled with helium gas or hydrogen gas due to their low density. Number three, parachute opens when the balloon bursts and brings down the radio sound device, as you can see in the following picture. So we have balloon, parachute, and device of radio sound. It's launching. The radio sound device is launched from hundreds of stations around the world twice daily, once at noon and once at midnight. How does it work? The size of balloon increases as it rises upward due to the decreasing of atmospheric pressure as altitude increases. The data collected by the radio sound sensor are transmitted radio waves to ground stations. The balloon passes at an altitude range between 20 to 35 km due to its continuous expansion. The radio sound falls by parachute after the balloon bursts, and it's often not reused again. Now let's talk about the satellite and its orbit the Earth, and also we have the weather station and are distributed in different regions in all countries of the world. Weather forecasting is not absolute facts, but rather probability predictions, and this is because the atmosphere is affected by a large number of variables. The accuracy of the weather forecasting decreases as the prediction period increases, so the forecasting less accurate than forecasting for only the next 2 days. Now, what do you think the importance of weather forecasting? There are three importance. Number one, We have protecting of lives and property by taking appropriate preventive measures when there is the probability of occurrence of hot or cold waves, occurrence of floods, or occurrence of thunderstorms. Number two, we have to support economic activities by helping farmers determine the timing of plant, harvest crops, pest control which increase the agriculture or reduce losses. Number three, aviation safety by avoiding weather conditions that may threaten air navigation traffic. Now, preventive awareness. It's necessary to follow weather forecasts. Why? Because it takes appropriate protections during periods of weather instability, such as wearing suitable clothes, avoiding crowded places, and making the right decisions about travel by land or sea. Now let's talk finally about Kamasin winds. Kamasin winds is a storm loaded with sand and dust flew over Egypt in the spring season. Egypt experiences weather distributions in the spring season every year due to the blowing of Kamasin winds. And this affects the respiratory system. Why? Because these winds are loaded with sand and dust. Thank you.